I'm just giving you the answer to the question you're asking all night.
Bill Maher recently dropped a bombshell of information that has left everyone in disbelief.
I respect the fact that you don't share my pessimism. I truly do. I understand where you're coming from. But I think that's part of the problem. I think the Democratic Party should share my pessimism. I think they should be on high alert. I think they need to treat him with the seriousness that it deserves, because you having a lot of faith in the American people. The man did get over 74 million votes. You've got people that are looking at Joe Biden. I'm not going to call him a cognitive mess or anything like that. That's very disrespectful. I would never speak about our president that way. But when you're 82 years of age, it's not offensive to say you're no longer a spring chicken and you don't seem to have the level of five and the energy that you want to have. And so you take that into consideration. You can't ignore the fact that...
In a heated debate with Stephen A. Smith and Adam Schiff, Bill Maher dropped a bombshell that has been upending the political landscape. He addressed the question of why millions of people still support Donald Trump despite the fact that it seems confusing at first. The jaw-dropper was that the mayor argued that these strange leftist ideas are actually pushing voters into Trump's corner. His bold take cuts through the noise and makes us question the political landscape. Could these controversial left-wing policies be hurting their own cause? If you enjoy content that challenges the status quo, hit the subscribe button. Let's continue. Adam Schiff, a lawmaker known for his tough political style, and Stephen A. Smith, an unabashedly opinionated sports journalist, joined the measure. Both men are formidable in their own right. The mayor began by attacking Trump directly, discussing why people continue to support him in spite of all the scandals, impeachment proceedings, and problems. Though Maher pointed out that some individuals may not be Trump's biggest supporters, they support him because they find the left's policies to be completely weird. It sounds crazy, but consider this. Some voters are drawn to Trump by radical left ideologies, and the mayor didn't hold back when he said things like the left is shooting itself in the foot by being so extreme. Stephen A. agreed, but he also emphasized that both parties must face their truths. As he criticized Trump, he also criticized the left for lacking discernment. When the curveball mayor appeared, he brought up an article from The Atlantic that asked why we still separate sports by sex. It was so provocative that it had Stephen A. practically shaking his head in disbelief. Adam Schiff, as usual, remained calm and warned the Democrats not to underestimate Trump. He pointed out that treating him lightly could cost them at the polls and brought attention to the issue of voter suppression that is allegedly being pushed by Republicans.
No mistake. I take him as serious as a heart attack.
Okay.
I'm optimistic, but we're going to have to fight tooth and nail. And one of the biggest obstacles we're going to have to overcome is all the efforts to prevent people from voting.
Okay.
We're going to have to turn out our people. We're going to have to work like never before. We're going to have to work like our democracy is on the line, because it damn well is.
Right.
I think this is time for all of that.
Just interject one thing into this discussion about Trump that we've been having all night. That was a question I was going to ask you. We ran out of time.
Sure.
The Atlantic put out an article last year, and it was called "Separating Sports by Sex Doesn't Make Sense."
Right.
And talked about how we separate sports like the WNBA and the just because it's just socialization. This is insane.
I agree.
Okay. That's why people vote for Trump. Because there's stuff like that on the left that people just go, I know Trump's horrible, but separating sports by sex makes perfect sense. And if you think it doesn't, you can't leave the country.
But that's cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Okay. I'm just giving you the answer to the question you're asking all night long. Why do they vote for Donald Trump? It's not always because they like him. No. It's because stuff like that.
Although they don't always agree with him, some people believe the left is going insane when it promotes absurd concepts like these. Adam Schiff, who is normally composed, seemed somewhat surprised by the mayor's classic bluntness. Bill Maher doesn't hold back while discussing voter ID laws. Schiff contends that requiring identification at the polls is a sort of systematic discrimination that reduces minority votes. The mayor questions whether this is truly done to ensure election security. Stephen A. Smith interrupts the conversation to emphasize that racial biases cannot be disregarded. The mayor contends that voters are being drawn to Trump by the extreme left's policies, which are doing more harm than good. Although Schiff acknowledges the mayor's point, He claims that the problem is more complex and that some voters may view Trump as the lesser of two evils as a result of these strong viewpoints. What do you think about this? Is Maher correct, or does Schiff have a stronger case if leftist policies change to avoid alienating voters? The debate concludes with a thoughtful reflection on how political narrative shapes perceptions and influences voter behavior, leaving us wondering whether the left's approach might be pushing voters into Trump's camp. Please share your opinions in the comment section.